So Google's AI, right? It gives you instant answers and it's pretty amazing. But here's the catch. What if that convenience is actually starving the very websites that create all that information? That's the real tension we're diving into today, this battle between instant AI answers and the survival of the open web. And it all kicks off with one pretty startling number.
Yeah, 32%. And look, this isn't just some random number on a slide, it's a total shockwave for the industry. It represents the drop in clicks to the top organic search results since Google rolled out its AI overviews more widely. 32% less traffic kind of just vanished into thin air.
And that number really sets the stage for our first section here, the AI click-through crisis. We're about to look at just how deeply this brand new technology is hitting the lifeblood of websites, which, is traffic from search.
Okay, so this chart right here, it just lays out the damage perfectly. An analysis from Growth SRC Media shows that before all this AI, the top spot on Google got a pretty healthy 28% click-through rate. But with AI overviews on the page, it just plummets down to only 19%. That's a huge slice of the pie just gone.
So you might be thinking, okay, but what about the links inside the AI summary? People must be clicking those, right? I mean, that is where Google puts the sources. Well, unfortunately, the data tells a much, much grimmer story.
1%. Yeah, just 1%. According to Pew Research, that is the click-through rate for links buried inside the AI answer. I mean, just think about that for a second. For every 100 people who see an AI summary, only one of them actually clicks on a source link. For publishers, for creators who need that traffic to survive, a number like 1%, well, it's absolutely catastrophic.
All right, so with this potential collapse of the whole content ecosystem, you have to ask, what is Google doing about it? And that brings us right to our next section, Google's redesigned links.
Well, Google's answer comes straight from Robbie Stein. He's the VP of Product for Google Search. He just announced a pretty significant redesign of how links show up in these AI overviews. And it's a direct attempt to tackle this click-through crisis head-on.
So what's actually changing? Well, on your desktop, if you hover over a group of links, you now get this little pop-up. It shows you site names, their logos, favicons, and even short descriptions so you can preview the content without even clicking. And across all devices, the link icons themselves are just getting bigger and more descriptive. The whole idea is to make these source links way more noticeable and, frankly, more appealing.
And Google's goal here is crystal clear. According to Stein, their own internal testing shows the new design is more engaging. And that word, engaging, that's the key right there. Google is betting that by making the links more interactive, you'll be more likely to actually click through to what they call great content across the web.
But you gotta wonder, is this all just window dressing? A cosmetic change? Or is it part of a much bigger strategy? That's what we're gonna dig into in our next section, why this update matters.
And here's the thing, this isn't just a random one-off reaction. It turns out Google has what they call a North Star for their AI search development, and that guiding principle is to show more high-quality inline links right inside its answers. So this update is a very deliberate step toward that long-term goal.
And if you look back, you can see this isn't their first rodeo. Remember back in August, they launched those embedded link carousels on desktop? And now, today, they're adding these new hover features and bigger icons. It really shows this is an ongoing experiment for them, a lot of trial and error to try and get this balance right.
And all of this really brings us to our final section. Because, let's be real, this is not a problem with a simple fix. It's what even Google itself calls an ongoing design challenge.
And this right here is the heart of the problem. You've got two totally competing needs. On one side, you have Google. Their goal, keep you on the search page by giving you an instant answer. But on the other side, you've got the web itself. It needs you to click through. That traffic is how publishers pay their writers, how they create the very content that Google's AI depends on in the first place.
And look, Google gets it. They're not blind to this. The very fact that they use that phrase, an ongoing design challenge, that's basically them admitting, hey, we haven't cracked this yet. They are still tweaking, still experimenting, because they know that the balance between user convenience and publisher survival is incredibly delicate.
Which leaves us all with the big, lingering question, doesn't it? Are these new, more engaging links, these little pop-ups and bigger icons, are they truly going to be enough to rebalance this relationship? Or is the fundamental nature of AI search, which is to just give you the answer, destined to slowly chip away at the open web that it was built on? That is the challenge ahead.